Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Department of Computer Science, Mata Sundari College for Women, I, Dr. Megha Gupta, would like to extend a very warm welcome to all the faculty members, our Chief Coordinator, Dr. Kiranjit Sethi, and the participants on the 12th day of this 2 weeks online faculty development program. ICT based new paradigms of e teaching and e learning digital pedagogy. Today's technical session is on OER and Creative Commons licenses. OER, Open Educational Resources, are freely accessible, openly licensed text, media, and other digital assets that are useful for teaching, learning, as well as for research purposes. OER, Open FA, Creative Commons or GNU license that state specifically how the material may be used, reused, adapted, and shared without charge. Creative Commons licenses give creator a standardized way to grant the public permission to use their creative work under copyright law. The resource person for this technical session is Dr. Nikhil Rajput. I welcome you, sir. I hope this session is going to be highly informative and helpful. It's over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mega ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, so let's start with the session. Just sharing my screen. So I hope my screen is visible. So,
Yes.
so today we are going to learn about open educational resources and Creative Commons licenses. A brief intro was given by Mega ma'am. So let's discuss what exactly it is and what is the importance of open educational resources and Creative Commons licenses in today's world. So let's understand. Let's start with the popular definitions for OER. If you just Google OER, then you will find hundreds of things. So it's not like it's new thing. It's a very quite old thing, and it's quite popular in Western countries. It's still gaining. It still need to get some momentum in India, but it's there in developed nations. So if you go by this definition of HP Hewlett Packard Foundation, they give the definition. I will just uh, start with that definition. It's taking some time to open. Let's wait. So, what exactly is OER? So, any content, it's just like many of you have heard about that open source things, so open source culture and open source software and other things. It's just it, it's just like that only. But here we are talking about some material, some learning material, teaching material, which can be used really without uh, asking permission from the creator. So this is the definition of HP Foundation, which says we are teaching, learning, and research resources that reside in public domain or have been released under an intellectual property license that permits their free use, repurposing by others. So OER can be full course. So it's important. It can be a full course. It can be a study material, course material, any module, textbooks, training videos, tests, software, and any other tools materials, which is somehow related to some just delivering knowledge to anyone. Okay, so OER, these five things are important. Five are activities which David Wale told us that retain, reuse, revise, remix, redistribute. So it's like what you see in different things. Like if you see any book, okay, so if you purchased a book, and what you will see that in the first few pages, you will see uh, the copyright symbol at the bottom. That means you cannot use that book freely without asking the permission. You cannot share the contents of the book directly to anyone without asking the permission of the author or the person who have obtained the copyright. But in case of OER, you don't need to seek permission of anyone. if it is in public domain. So it is very important keyword which is mentioned here, public domain. So anything in public domain, and especially in this digital world, anything there in the public domain can be used freely. So it's freely and it's license free. That means you don't have to seek permission. Okay, so just like Wikipedia. So Wikipedia contents are public domain licenses. That means it's completely free. Anyone can use these kind of contents. So let's see a few contents, a few resources which are open licensed, and then we will understand how to find the content and how to obtain different kind of licenses, and how we can also create our open educational resources. Okay, so mm, let's start with like MIT Coursera. So MIT, you have heard about, so ocw.mit, MIT courses. So this is just like totally free courseware. So it was started, I think, in the last decade. So they just provide all the courses free of cost. So you can reuse this, you can redistribute this, you can also modify this and make your content without asking the permission. So it's just like open education resource, and it's completely it is a complete course. Okay, so as you see the definition of this, it was written like any includes full course. So this is one of the example of full course MIT courses. So it's completely free. It can be reused by anyone, and you will not find. You will see that the definition is Creative Commons licenses, and so it's under Creative Commons licenses. That means it's not copyrighted material. Okay. Let's see another example. So course materials, models, textbooks. So for example, let me take an example of textbook. So most of you must have heard about this project Gutenberg. So Project Gutenberg is just like it's about books. So all the books which they have collected around 60,000 free books, and it's just like that MIT courseware. You can use these ebooks. You can share this ebook, or you can also use this for some commercial purpose with some restrictions, and it's totally open in nature. So that means you don't have to seek permission. Otherwise, if you see any book which is copyrighted, you will have to just ensure that you have asked permission of the author. Okay, so if you can find any book, there are it says that there are more than 60,000 free ebooks, and anyone can use these books. So it's like if you click on this book,
Nikhil sir,
yes.
sorry to interrupt. People are saying there is a voice disturbance a little bit. So the voice is not that clear. Yeah, just check a
voice disturbance. Are you able to hear my voice clearly? Anything?
Yes, sir. I can hear, but still there is a little disturbance. Might be a mic or something.
Okay.
Yeah. So that they even participants are putting they are unable to listen the voices, like there's a disturbance, so they cannot hear the words clearly or properly.
Okay. So okay.
Thank you.
Okay, I will try to speak louder, and I'm just putting my mic closer so that yeah, maybe the fan voice or any other voice should be there. Nithi and other panelists, are they able to hear my voice clearly?
Ashima?
Yes, sir. I'm able to hear, sir. Actually, probably you are. I hope you are not connected on two devices.
No, I am not connected.
Okay.
I've just opened
There's
this.
a little difference in your voice, but though it's audible.
Okay. All right, so I will try to speak a little bit louder and closer to mic. So you can see there are different formats of books available in this website. You can even download on Amazon Kindle and as a plain text, and with images, without images, and other form in different forms, even in the form of HTML, like as a web page. So you can see, and this book is, as I said, it's a copyright free. That means you can use this book and the contents of the book distribute this book to your students, and you don't have to seek permission from the author. So this was one of the biggest project for just distributing books, just getting the digital format of books to the students and participants. Okay, so this was one of the biggest project of open education resource. So as MIT is pioneer in providing a full course, Project Gutenberg is related to providing free ebooks or license free books. Okay, so let me take a few more examples about this, and then we will see what exactly how to just ensure that it is license free or it is in public domain. So you must have heard about Flickr. So most of us, what we do, what we just, if you are then making a presentation, or you are just using any images from the net, what we do, we just download an image from website and we use in our presentation, or we use in our material. It's not a correct way of doing that, because if you are using any image which is copyrighted, then you might be in legal trouble. And the person, if he or she finds that you have used that image directly without your permission, then they can just put some legal case on you. Okay, so you should ensure, because we are dealing with so many of online things these days, so we should ensure that we are using the things properly. Okay, so Flickr is like for finding license-free images. So Flickr is again one of the biggest venture to just provide some license-free images. So if you use images from this site, then you don't have to seek permission. You will have to mention the name of the author, but you don't have to ask permission that please, Mike, like this image, Mike McCammon, please permit me to use this image. You don't have to seek the permission. Okay, you can use this image. You will have to mention the name. Okay, so this is again a collection of images. So you can see this was about course. This was about books. This was about images. This was about images. Just okay. So this was like three things. We will come again about different forms of open education resources, but let's understand what exactly is public domain and what exactly is copyright. So let's start by searching on the net. So if you see this symbol, copyright, let's start with this one, and let's see the image. So if you see this symbol, okay, so if you see this symbol anywhere, okay, in that image, yes, so this symbol, C symbol, that means the content is copyrighted. They have obtained copyright of the content, and you will have to seek permission of the creator or the author before using that content. Okay, so you will have to just ensure that whatever you are using, that content should not be copyright thing. So this symbol, you should just check for this symbol in any content. Let me show you the symbol of public domain. It's just opposite of this. So like C symbol and this cross. So if you see this kind of symbol, like there is a symbol and C symbol and there is a cross, that means the content is free, is under public domain license, and you can use the content without asking the permission, and even you don't have to mention the name of the creator. You can use it freely and without asking the permission or without mentioning the creator of the author. Let me take an example from the Wikipedia only. If you see this India Wikipedia page, India Wiki, Let me see some content here. So suppose this is image. Okay, so and you want to use this image in your content. Okay, so what you will have to show that if it is in public domain or if it is copyrighted.
Nikhil sir,
Yes, yes,
so
yes, yes.
very sorry to interrupt you, sir. But I think there is a matlab, background noise or some problem with the device which you are using for. Sir, अगर आप कोशिश करें without your earphone.
Uh, okay, so let me change my place. Just give me 1 minute. Maybe because I am in the college, so might be because of that.
Okay, okay,
Let me change. Just give me 1 minute.
okay, sir.
Okay, so I've changed my place and I hope
Yes,
the
sir. It is
voice.
better, sir. Much better. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I was just talking about this image. So I have just opened this Wikipedia page of India, and let me repeat this thing. So I've opened the Wikipedia page of India, and now if I click on this image, and I just want to make sure that if I can use this image on my say PowerPoint slide or some content. Uh, so if I should ask the permission of the creator or author or anyone who have this the copyright of this or not, you will have to just seek for that if it is under public domain or if it is a copyrighted image. So you will see, if you scroll down, you will see this symbol. So C symbol in cross and public domain. That means you don't have to seek permission to use this image. You can use this image freely and without asking the permission and without mentioning any name. So you can use this image directly in your content. So you just make sure that whenever you are downloading any image or downloading any content from the net, it's under public domain. It's not the copyrighted image. Let me show you a few more examples. So suppose you are working on you're preparing some report on corona or coronavirus about any impact of that or not. So let me go search for the images of this. So suppose you want to use this image, and so you can see you will see this message. The image may be subject to copyright. Okay, you can open this image also, and if you see that if there is written that this image may be copyrighted, or you can just scroll down to the bottom of the website, and if you find that this symbol so there is no copyright symbol here. No, okay. So but still, if it is not clearly mentioned, then you should be careful about that also. Otherwise, you will find that most of the sites, they write that it's copyrighted to this Barcelona or whatever it is. So you just will have to make sure that whatever content you are using, it's copyrighted or not by finding that symbol, or if it should be mentioned there clearly that it is of public domain, or it is under public domain license, or it is under copyright. Let me find see some other images. So let me see this image. Otherwise, it is written subject maybe to copyright. So you should avoid using this image directly. You should search for the images which are under public domain licenses. Okay, so just make sure that you are not using any copyrighted images directly in your content. Not This is not about only images. It is applicable for say audio thing, video thing. It's about say PowerPoint slides, any text content, courses, any simulation, any content. It depends. Suppose I create a content and I don't want that my content should be used by anyone without my permission. So it is the basic rule. So if I have created my content, I would like that my the user of my content should ask my permission. So suppose someone have created this image, they would like that they should be asked before using this image directly. Okay, so you should ensure that these things are clear, because slowly and slowly in India also the awareness is increasing, and you might be in trouble if you are using the content directly and you're putting that content on net. Okay, you are putting that content on internet and you are using that. In fact, nowadays everything is going on internet. Even your thesis, if you're writing your PhD thesis, it will go on the internet. If you're publishing some paper, if you're putting some content on your Google site or any other way of sharing the content through this digital medium, so you should ensure that you are not using any copyrighted material. Okay, let me show you few more examples. Well, let's go for videos also, because most of us, what we do, we share the videos directly from YouTube with anyone. So you are using some Google, you're sharing some video on Google Classroom, or say let's start with Google Classroom. Suppose so which video you can use directly. Okay, so I was just saying that if you have prepared your Google Classroom, have created your Google Classroom, and you are sharing some material in Google Classroom, any video, then you should make sure that you are not sharing some copyrighted videos. Okay, so how to find videos which are not copyrighted, which are under public domain, or what we call as Creative Commons licensed. So you will have to just type any topic. So let me choose some other topic. So computer. Okay, so there are several videos on computer. Now say, but how to make sure that which video I can use directly in my content without any trouble. Okay, so there's a filter button here. So if you click on this filter button, you will find this features. Okay, and you will find this Creative Commons. Okay, so click on this Creative Commons. Now these videos you can use directly. Okay, so these videos you can use directly in your content. You don't have to seek permission of the author or of the creator of the video, because it's under Creative Commons license. Okay, so this is the third thing. So we have understood what exactly is copyright. We will come back to that copyright thing again. We understood what exactly is public domain. So anything which is in under public domain license can be used without asking the permission of the creator, or without you don't have to mention the name of the creator also. So public domain is the most open thing, open license available on the internet. Okay, the next license is Creative Commons, which somewhere lies between copyright and uh, public domain. Okay, so Creative Commons licenses, let me show the image of that. So you see this CC image. Okay, so we have seen the images of copyright. So if there is a C symbol, single C symbol, and the circle, there's a circle around that, that is copyrighted material. So you cannot use that material without without taking the permission of the creator. There is a C symbol and a cross slash over that C. So that is public domain license that can be used directly without us asking permission of the creator and without mentioning the name. So, and the third is which lies between public domain and copyright is CC symbol, that is Creative Commons license. That means you can use these contents which are under CC symbol, which are under Creative Commons licenses. But the difference is that you will have to mention the name of the author at least. Okay. So this is exactly the symbol. There are different categories. So CC BY, that means this BY indicates that you will have to specify, you will have to mention the name of the author or the creator of that content. You can use with that content directly without asking the permission of the author. So permission is not required, but name should be mentioned there. So it's important. So it's how it is different from public domain. In public domain, you can use it directly, but you don't have to mention the name of the creator, so it's not necessary. But what is the copyrighted thing? So in the copyrighted thing, you cannot use directly. You will have to seek permission of the author. You will have to write email to the author or creator, and if he or she allows you to use that, then only you can use it in your say content or your presentation or any other type of material. But in case of Creative Commons licenses, you can use the material directly without seeking the permission of the author, but you will have to mention the name of that author. Now, there are different categories of Creative Commons license. We will see each in detail, but this is the basic one. So CC BY, the BY indicates attribution. So attribution, that means you will have to mention the name of the author. So CC BY is the basic form of Creative Commons licenses. So let's find so this was a video. So all these videos which we searched, I will now come back to that. So open the YouTube and all the videos, computer, and so suppose you want to use this video. Okay, no, this is not like this. So suppose you want to use this video, okay, in your some content. So what you will have to do, you can use this video directly without seeking the permission of this Ishan Guru, but you will have to mention the name of the Ishan Guru because it's under Creative Commons. It's not public domain, because you will find that there is no option of public domain here. So all the videos are uh, either YouTube licensed videos or Creative Commons licensed videos. So all the videos, if you have use the filters and all, now we have applied the filter, and now all the videos are under Creative Commons license. So all these videos can be used by you. So suppose you can see this one also. So IIT Bombay video. You can you can share this video with anyone. You can put this video on your Google Classroom. But what is the difference? Since it's not under the public domain, it's under Creative Commons license, then you will have to mention the creator, like you will have to mention this video belongs to IIT Bombay, or you will have to mention the name of the professor here. Okay, so this is like Creative Commons license thing. I hope this must be clear. I can take if one or two questions, or if somebody wants to repeat anything, please let me know. If there are few queries, I can repeat it, because it's very important in today's world, and the awareness of this thing is quite important, because most of us, what we do, we just download anything from the net and we use it directly, and it might be serious case. I will show you if examples in our videos also. I have received few things like somebody have used my video, so I can also put some case on them also. So I will show you that example in the last. Yeah.
Yes, so there is one quick question that though there are so many websites, but they don't mention about the copyright. So at that time, how do we assume that it is a copyright video?
It's better to avoid that because like it's not a good thing that anybody, if you are also putting your content on website, even you should mention these things, like you want to put that content under public license, public domain license, you want to put that content under copyright thing, or you want to put that under CC license. So you should also mention your content there. Okay, so it's better. I would recommend that even you can use that directly, because it's not mentioned that it is copyrighted or not, but better to avoid those kind of contents in which there is nothing is mentioned. Even you will find most of the sites, even you are using any news article, you will find that copyright symbol in the bottom also. So every website contain so let me show example of the website. So suppose I just I am teaching this topic on operating system. So suppose this is the website Wikipedia Geek for Geeks. If you go to this site, so what you will find, you will just scroll down to the bottom, and uh, you will see this. Okay, so this site is not working. Yeah, because it you will find mostly the contents you will find in the bottom. It is written there that it's copyrighted. So yeah, you can see this at the rate Geek Forget, some rights reserved. So some rights reserved, that means again you will have to make sure that you are not using the content directly from this site. Let me open some other site also, say tutorial point. Let me see this content also. Just scroll down, you can see this is there. So copyright 2020, all rights reserved. So that means they have obtained the copyright of the material. So you cannot use the content directly from this site. You will have to seek the permission from this tutorial point that we just want to use this content. And even this comes under the plagiarism also. So if you just copy and paste this thing on your slide or any material, then it's plagiarism also. So what you can do, you can, if it's copyright, then you can ask the permission of the author, and now you will have to paraphrase this also. So it's like a very strict thing. So all the contents should be your own in any form. So if even you're using some text material which is copyrighted, it is not applicable to images and videos, you cannot say that. But in case of text material, you will have to just take care of plagiarism also. So it's a double burden in case of text material usage of text material. But in case of images, if it's like written copyright, all rights reserved, then you will have to seek the permission of the creator. You will have to write to tutorial's point that we want to use the content in this your content in our presentation or our some course, then please give us permission to use that. Okay, so just make sure, because it's a serious case in the Western world. In India, it's slowly growing because most of us ignore these things. That's why. But otherwise, anyone can just file the copyright violation in case you are using that material directly. So you make sure that you don't have to use anything directly from the net, because there are hundreds and thousands of websites which provide open education resources. You can use the materials from there. And I will show a few more examples about that also. Let me complete that Creative Commons license part first, then I will show you few more websites where you can find these things. Okay, so let's understand what is Creative Commons licenses and how to obtain it. Suppose you have created your content and you want to obtain Creative Commons licenses, then how to do that? So suppose you will have three options. You have created some videos, say you have prepared some content in the form of image, in the form of video, in the form of audio, or in the form of some text. What you can do, you have three options now. You can put those material under public domain. Okay, you can obtain copyright of that material. And how to obtain copyright of that material? So in India, you can obtain any copyright by this site, copyright.gov.in. So you can see this is the legal process. You will have to obtain, you will have to fill the form, and you will have to pay a nominal amount of fee. It's not very high. It's like 200, 300 or 400 rupees. But you will have to file the copyright. So if you want to obtain copyright of your material, then you can just go to this site and obtain the copyright on your material. If you don't want that anybody should use your created material directly without your permission, so this is the first option for you. Second option for you. So first option was you can put that content directly on the internet, say on your college website or your personal website or Google site, any other medium. So you can put all your content on any site, website, and you can put that symbol, C cross symbol, in the bottom. So and you can write that public domain. So now what will happen? Anybody can visit your site and they can use your content directly, and they will not have to seek permission from you, or they will not have to mention your name also. So this is like a most open kind of content that is there, and more Wikipedia contents are open in nature, and you can use that content without uh, mentioning the name of the Wikipedia also. So Wikipedia content, Wikipedia is like public domain thing. So almost all every content on Wikipedia is under public domain licenses. Okay. Now the third option is you can obtain the Creative Commons license for your content, and it's not like you don't have to pay for the obtaining Creative Commons license. You will just have to put that symbol in the bottom. That's it. So obtaining Creative Commons licenses, it's like very easy, just like public domain. In case of public domain, what you will have to do, you will have to just put that symbol, C cross symbol in the bottom of your content, and you can also write that this content is public under public domain license, so anybody can use that. Okay, so how to obtain Creative Commons licenses? So this was copyright thing. So we'll have to file. The process is a bit lengthy. It might take some time to obtain Creative Commons copyright on your content. The second is Creative Commons licenses. So the site name is Creative Commons .org. So creativecommons.org is a site name through which you can seek different. You will also find hundreds of websites here which provides Creative Commons license things. So this photo, the photo, some biology educational material, even journal. So most of the science people must have heard about this PLOS journal. So this is under CC BY license. That means all the published paper in PLOS journal, they are under Creative Commons license. So anyone can use their paper directly. They don't have to seek permission of the author. Okay, if they are using this PLOS published journals. Otherwise, most of the publisher like Springer, Sage, or Elsevier, you will have they obtain the copyright of the journal paper, and you will have to seek the permission of the author. Is there any query?
Sir, how do we put copyright on any content created by us, which I guess you already explained?
Yes, so copyright.gov.in. You will have to go to that site. You will have to fill the application form. It's a lengthy process. I cannot cover this in one session, but you will have to fill that form. You will have to pay the fee for that, and then you can obtain the copyright on your material. So the material can be in any form. Even you can obtain uh, uh, copyright on your photograph also. So you have clicked a photograph somewhere, and you can obtain the copyright of that thing. So you have created a piece of music, if you have created painting, if you have developed some content, you can obtain copyright on that. But what is the benefit of you obtaining copyright? If someone uses your copyrighted material, then you can you can just fight a legal case against them, and you can have some compensation for that if they are using your content directly. Okay.
So, how to find out copyright free images?
That is I'm showing right now. So just give me some time. I will show you. I have already shown you the site of flickr.com. So the flickr.com, all the images are Creative Commons licensed, so you can use all these images freely. There are other sites also, so this you should explore this site if you want to understand Creative Commons licenses things. Okay, so let me give some more time, then I will take a few more queries. Okay, Nidhi?
Yeah, sure, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so let's see what is Creative Commons license, how to obtain Creative Commons license, and how to find the things. Okay, so you can see all this in music. So Jamendo.com. If you want to just use some free music. So suppose you are creating a video and you want a background music free of cost, then you can go to Jamendo.com. So free music is there. So you can see the CC BY license is there. So Jamendo, uh, yeah, this photographs, John Wood, educational material, skills commons, OpenStax for biology material. So you can see all these contents are Creative Commons licensed content, and you can use as I said, PLOS for scientific research articles. So all the scientific content, all the publications are under PLOS is under CC license, so you don't have to seek permission of the author or PLOS to use that directly. So all these sites are available. You can just explore this creativecommons.org, and this is a site where you can also find that symbol to paste on your content if you want to obtain Creative Commons license. Okay, so let's see. Suppose you have created some study material, or you have clicked some photograph, and you want to put it under Creative Commons license. Okay, so I'm not talking about copyright, I am just talking about Creative Commons license. So how to obtain that? You will have to go to this site creativecommons.org, click on share your work. So click on share your work. Okay, and now click on get started. Okay, so you will see these options. Okay, so this is the basic one. As I said, license features. So allow adaptations to work by shared. Okay, so CC, and this is called BY. So this is a basic form of Creative Commons license. Okay, I will just repeat this again so that you can understand what exactly it's script. I have already mentioned it 2 or 3 times, but I will just mention the difference between these three again. Okay, so that you have there's clarity about these three things. So as I said, there are three things. uh, copyrighted thing Copyrighted things, you will have to ask permission of the creator before using that. If they allow to use that, then only you can use their content, otherwise you cannot use it. If you are using it, it's illegal. Okay, the second is public domain licensing. So public domain is the most open thing, so you don't have to seek the permission, and even you don't have to mention the name of the creator. So this is the second type of licensing, the Creative Commons license, which lies in between these two licenses, in which you don't have to seek permission of the creator, but you will have to mention the name of the creator or the author. So this license is like this. So this is the symbol CC, and this is BY symbol. So what you will have to do, you will have to just copy this symbol, and you can put it under your content. So suppose you have created your Google site. Let me open sites.google.com. Let me show it directly. So this is sites.google.com. You have created some content, you have created some text content, and you want to obtain Creative Commons license for that. So what you can do, you can just put your content here. So you can write your content anything. Let me write anything. So suppose this is a content. Obviously this is not a good content, but suppose this is my content, and this is a published content on the internet. If I click on this publish, it will be visible to anyone if I share the link with the person. And you want to obtain the Creative Commons license for this content. So what you can do, you can just open a new text box,
copy this image. Copy this image and paste it here. Okay, this problem. Oh, okay. So you will have to use what there's a little bit lengthy process. So what you will have to do, you will have to save this image on your computer, because it's so this is the image desktop 88x33, and now open your site, and you will have to use this image. Okay, so click on this image, upload, and desktop. Yes, so this is image. That's it. So now you can see I have obtained this license, Creative Commons license, for my this random text, random content. So this is a simplest process. Even you can write some name here also, like this is under license. This content has been created by Nikhil Rajput, and this is under Creative Commons license. You can also add some content along with this symbol. So this is it. So the obtaining BY license is the easiest one. Now anyone who uses this content, anyone who will use this content, they will have to mention my name, that this content has been created by, or they will have to put some reference that this content has been created by Nikhil Rajput and has been obtained from this site. Okay, so they will have to mention this thing, but they will not have to write to me that dear Nikhil, please, we want to use your content, please give us permission to use that. They don't have to do that, because it's under CC license, so they don't have to ask permission from me. They can use this content directly, but they will have to mention my name, that this content has been created. So this can be obtained for anything. You can put this symbol for your you can paste this image on your photograph if you want to obtain CC BY license for that. You can paste this content. You can just put some video here, and you just paste the symbol in here, so you can obtain that for your video also. Otherwise, if you upload your video on YouTube directly, there's the option of Creative Commons licensing there also, by going to the setting button. Okay, so obtaining Creative Commons license is not that difficult, but let's understand the variation, the different kinds of creative. So this was the simplest one, CC BY license. CC stands for Creative Commons license. BY stands for attribution. That means in this case, you will have to attribute to the author, to the creator, and not more than. So there's nothing more than that. Let's understand the different kinds of Creative Commons licenses. A bit difficult. So you see there are two boxes here, two options here. Allow adaptations of your work to be shared, and allow commercial uses for your work. So if this is like this type of license, then what they can do with this content, now anyone can use this content for anything. They can modify, you use this content, they can modify the content and use it. They can even use it for commercial purpose also, and they can do whatever they want to do with this content, because I have obtained the simplest form of CC BY license. But if you want to make it more stricter, then you can have that by using these options. So suppose I don't want that my content should be used for commercial purpose. I just want that anyone can use my content, but I don't want to allow them to use it for some obtaining or for some business purpose or some commercial usage. So what you can just click on this no button, and you will see the symbol will change. Now you will see that CCBY, and there is one more symbol here there where dollar and cross. Okay, so NC. So NC stands for non-commercial. So now you can put this image. You can download this image. And now if I replace this image with the next one, so if I upload that image, let me do that. Yes, so now you can see the license has this is a bit stricter license. Now anyone can use this content without seeking my permission, but they cannot use it for commercial purpose. They cannot use it for some so like they can put this content in a book, and they cannot use that for selling that book without just seeking my permission. Okay, so this is a bit stricter, in which the creator don't want to allow it for the commercial usage. Okay, so what you will have to do, just to click on this no, and the symbol will change. Okay, otherwise you can make it simpler, like if you click on yes, so yes and no, there are two options here. So this is a stricter form of CC license. Okay, let's understand here also. So allow adaptations of your work to be shared. So if you want that uh, your content should be used as it is, so you don't want to allow modifications. Okay, so you don't want that your content should be used by modifying that. Okay, so suppose you have clicked any photograph, and you are putting it under Creative Commons license, and if you select this one, that means you will see this ND, non-derivative. So now non-derivative means that whatever the content is there, it should be used as it is. No modifications, nothing tweaking or anything should not be done on that content. Okay, so you have clicked that photograph and you are putting it under CC BY ND license. That means anyone can use that photograph without seeking your permission, but they cannot modify that image. They will have to use that image as it is, non-derivative. Okay, so this is again a stricter form of license. Even you can more stricter by including this non-commercial also. So you can see now there are four symbols: CC, BY, NC, and D. That means CC is for Creative Commons license. BY means attribution. So it will be there always. So attribution, you cannot skip with this attribution part. You will have to mention the name of the creator always. So you cannot skip with this. But you can apply these two more restrictions, that it cannot be used for for commercial purpose, and it cannot be modified. So it should be used as it is. So it's a bit of stricter, most in fact you can say this is the most strict form of Creative Commons license. Okay, there is one more option. So this is a little bit you can say milder than this one at all adaptations. So if you obtain this share alike, this SA stand for share alike. So in this case you can modify the content. So modification is allowed, but the license term will be as the original one. So if someone has kept it as non-commercial, so that means you can change the image, you can modify the content, but the original license was non-commercial, so the modified will be also non-commercial. Okay, so you can modify the thing, but licenses will be just like the original one. So license policy is related with this share alike. So you have now how many types of licenses? Let me show you the simplest one. So if both is yes and no, okay, so if both is yes, so this is the simplest one, CCBY, in which you just have to mention the name of the author. That's it, the simplest one. The second one is this one. So non-commercial, and attribution should be there also. As you don't want to allow it for using for some commercial purpose. Uh, this is non-derivative, so you don't want to allow modifications. Okay, you can make it like this also. So BY and D, that means you are allowing them to use for commercial purpose, but you are not allow the modifications. Okay, so you can select this no and yes. That means you are okay with if someone uses it for commercial purpose, but you don't want that they should modify your content, or they should modify your image, they should modify your music. They should use as it is. So it is applicable. Non-derivative are mostly used by some artistic work, like music, piece of music, piece of painting, or piece of, say, photograph. So these this and these especially for artistic work. Okay, so they are mostly used by artistic people. uh, Non-commercial, and now the last one was you are allowing the uh, change modification, but the license term should be like the original one. So if someone has made it non-commercial to the original one license, they will have to the modifications, you can do the modification, but the license will be as non-commercial one, because the original one contains its non-commercial. So these are the different kind of Creative Commons license. What you will have to do, you will have to just copy this image, you can download this image and just paste it below your content, and that's it, and put it on some website. That's it. So this was obtaining Creative Commons license for any content. Okay. Now I can take few queries if it is related with this. Otherwise, how to find, as I said, uh, there are different ways of finding this. All this website, if you go to this Creative Commons license, there are hundreds of websites here where you can find content. So they also have given different type of different websites where you can find Creative Commons licensed content. Now you can see the options here. So this is CC BY SA. That means what was this license is SCC BY SA. That means they're allowing the modification, but the license should be like the original one. That means you will have to mention the name of the creator. If you can modify the music, but you'll have to mention the name of the author, because the original one contains BY. This is a public domain, so the most open kind of licensing. So if you are using the photograph of this site, then you will don't have to seek permission, or you don't have to mention the name of the creator. So this is the most open kind of content available on the internet. This is again CC BY. That means you will have to just mention the name of the creator. CC BY, CC BY ND. So this is like, this is the photograph. So that means you can use the content. You will have to mention the name of the creator, and you cannot modify the content. So these photographs, you can use the photographs in your content, but you cannot modify the photograph. You cannot change the background, or you cannot use the photo like Photoshop the image. So ND, that means you non-derivative, you cannot modify these photographs. Okay, so CC BY SA, this is just like you can modify the content, but you will have to the license will be the original, like you will have to mention the name of the creator. Okay, so you can find all these licenses. Public domain, uh, this is again public domain, I think. CCBY plus CCBY. So CCBY NC. So this is like a most strict form of Creative Commons license. That means these books, you can use these books. You will have to mention the name of the author. You cannot use it for commercial purpose. You can modify the book, the content of the book, but you will have to mention the name of the original author, and even after modification, you cannot use it for commercial purpose. Okay, so these are the different kind of Creative Commons licenses. Okay, and all these websites, you will there are photograph sites. So if you click on this, this will open a new site, and this is like Flickr one, and you can use all these contents directly. Okay, so is there any query till now? Then I can take it. Otherwise, I will show you how to find uh, open educational resources on internet, different ways of doing that. Any
Sir, you
queries?
can continue. We'll take the queries later. So it's not
Okay,
that.
okay,
Yes.
okay, 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 okay. So I hope you understood the difference between these three: public domain, copyright, and Creative Commons license. So Creative Commons license culture is like it's very popular these days, so that people can share the things, and it also contributes, like most of the open education resources, they are under Creative Commons licenses. So you what is a way of doing this? Just create your content if you want to make contribution to the open education resources. Create your content and put your content on any website, your personal website, college website, or any other third party website. uh, what you can do, you can just put a Creative Commons license image in the bottom of your content, and now anyone who uses your content, they will have to mention your name, but they don't have to write you that they are going to use your content, because writing and reverting process, it might take some time, and in some cases the original creator don't want to they don't want that their material should be used directly. Okay, make sure that you are using the right things, and you're not infringing the Copyright Law Act. Okay, so copyright is a bit stricter, and you will have to make sure that so these are the different images which I have just mentioned, that CC-BY, CC-BY-SA, CC-BY-NC, CC-BY-NC-SA, BY-ND, BY-NC-ND. So BY is attribution, NC is non-commercial, SA is share alike, and ND is non-derivative. Okay. Someone has their mic open. Ramanujan College host. Okay, host. Oh, thank you. Okay, so let's see different contents which you can find on internet.
Nikhil sir, your
Yes,
screen
yes.
is not visible. Can you please check the settings?
Okay, okay, okay. Let me share this. Okay. Yes, I think it's visible now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this how to just look for different type of contents. Like I will show you few examples where you can find most of the open education resources. I hope you understood what exactly is open education resource. So open education resources are those sources, those type of materials which is freely available on the internet or any other way. It's free, that means, and it's if it is it can be copyright also, but it might happen that I have written any book, but I just want that it should be available freely, and it can be shared with anyone freely on the internet. So if you see that any book is there, what you can do, any copyrighted book is there, what you can do, you can visit their site of the author, and if they have mentioned that anyone can use that copyrighted thing, then only you can use it directly. Otherwise you will have to seek the permission of that creator. In case of public domain, you don't have to seek permission. So let me show a few examples. OER Commons. So this is a site name, OER Commons. So oercommons.org is, you will find different repositories here, in which there are hundreds of material which are either Creative Commons licensed, or under public domain, or even under copyright, but they have allowed it. Okay, so collections, if you click on some collection like library resources, so all these contents are PhET interactive. So this is like simulation thing. You will see this if you are a chemistry teacher, then chemistry physics teacher, then you can use this. You can see this is under CC BY licenses. So you can use all these simulations to teach anything to your student. So mathematics, STEAM, garden-based learning, Shakespeare, library, game-based learning, adult education, open licensing. So all these materials are open education resources. You can use it directly because you will find that either the contents are under public domain license or they will be under Creative Commons licenses. Okay, so you can use these things directly. So oercommons.org is the site where you can find different type of contents. Okay. There's few libraries also which provide open educational resources like OER Pittsburgh, University of Pittsburgh, OER. So Pitt's library guides, if you go to this link, you will see they have provided several links to the sites where you can find Creative Commons licensed things. So let me yes, open educational resources. So textbooks, collections. Okay. Okay, so you can see different things. You will find different collections here. So you can use this site also to just find open educational resources. Okay, so but just make sure that you are not using copyrighted things directly without permission. Otherwise, if you see any license with CC symbol or C cross symbol, you can use it directly without seeking permission. Okay, so these two sites are there, OER Commons and librarypits.edu. Wikipedia is there, in which you can find most of the contents freely, but Wikipedia is not that reliable source, since it is a public thing. Every article, so if you see Wikipedia content, this India page, if you click on this view history and view source, you will see all the contributions are made by some people. So we contribute to this content. It's not like reviewed content most of the time. So even you can review this also, and now they are just evolving very quickly. But still, it's not like you cannot quote the contents of Wikipedia directly. It's not like it's since it is not reviewed content, it is not admissible, or it is not like not exactly authentic every time. So, but Wikipedia contents are uh, uh, Creative Commons licensed and sorry, public domain license. So most of the contents here are under public domain license. If you see any image here, you will see that either it is CC BY or it is public domain license. So this is CC BY SA. That means you can use this image, and this image has been taken by the Sandeep. So since as I said, the contribution is made by the public. So Mr. De Sandeep click this photograph. They have he contributed to this Wikipedia article, Ajanta, and he has just put CC BY SA license. That means you can use this image in your content, but you will have to mention that this photograph has been taken by Day Sandeep, and you cannot change the original form of image that because it has he has obtained SA license. That means you cannot modify this image. You will have to use it in its original form. Okay, so Wikipedia contents are either most of the contents are public under public domain or CC Creative Commons license content, license content. Okay, so Wikipedia, OER Commons, Creative Commons. So the site's name are oercommons.org, libs.pit.edu, Flickr for photographs, for images, and uh, the other option there was creativecommons.org too, for obtaining the Creative Commons licenses, as well as several links are also there in that site. Okay. So this was about Creative Commons licenses, public domain license, and copyright license. And MIT courseware is there if you want to use some content, some course directly. So all the contents here are Creative Commons licensed, so you can use these contents directly in your classroom or in your teaching process, but you will have to mention the name of the professor or the creator, and you will have to mention that this course has been taken from MIT courseware. So full course is also available there, and books are available in Project Gutenberg, and there
Sir,
are the
Sir,
yes.
sir, your screen is again not visible. It's again going.
Oh, okay. Okay, so as I mentioned, Project Gutenberg is there for books, MIT courseware for full courses, OER, Wikipedia for contents, OERcommons.org for obtaining Creative Commons license, and OER Commons uh, for again finding some open education resources on the net. Okay, so let me take few queries.
Yes, sir. So can we share the link of YouTube in our classroom?
Yes, I will repeat the process. You can share the YouTube, but you will have to make sure that it is under Creative Commons license. Let me show you this again. If you want to use if you're teaching like I am teaching operating system, and I want to find some open contents, so just search for open your content, apply this filter. So click on this filter, select this Creative Commons. Okay, now I can use these contents in my classroom, so I can share these videos because it's under Creative Commons license videos. But what I will have to do, I will have to mention the name of the creator. So I will have to mention that this video has been created by some ADDA247. So in this case, you can use these videos, but you will have to apply this filter and select this Creative Commons license, and then only you can use. Otherwise, if you are doing if you are sharing the video directly, then I will show you this message also. So you will see this is our channel, and let me show you this under the studio, and I will show you. We have say more than 800 videos in our channel, and we have, let me go back to this. Yes, so new copyrighted matches found review video that might be using your content. So we have received this message that our video has been used by someone. So you can see that some non-teaching staff is there. They have used our video. We have received that these videos have been used by these people, and they are using 100% of our video. So we can uh, just file some legal case on this non-teaching side, because uh, they are just infringing that copyright law, uh, because we have not made our video contents as Creative Commons license videos. Okay, but we can make that. But in most of the cases, as I said, in India, most of us ignore these things. Even we are ignoring these things. We are not going to just file the case or anything. We are not going to do anything like that. But this is this is a like serious case. Anyone cannot share, even just putting any others video to your YouTube channel. It's again illegal if it's not Creative Commons license. If you are uploading it under your channel also, then you will have to mention the original creator, okay, in case of Creative Commons. But if it is YouTube licensed, so there are, as I said, there are two types of videos, YouTube licensed or Creative Commons licensed. So in case of Creative Commons licensed, you can share the videos. In case of YouTube licensed, you will have to seek permission of the creator. So this non-teaching staff should seek our permission before using our videos. Okay, so this should be taken care of, and this should be just taken seriously, because as I said, most of us ignore these things and we are not aware about these things.
Yes, sir. The one continued question with this: do the videos we create and publish on YouTube, is it a valid e-content which can be documented on papers?
No, it's not valid, because it's not reviewed content, because it's not admissible also in research world. If you are quoting something which is there on YouTube, it is not admissible in research world, because only those contents, even newspaper articles, it's like in India we in most of the cases social science people, they cite the articles of the newspaper, but it's not admissible again, because the content should be reviewed by some senior people, or some because in the research world, when we send an article, it's peer reviewed, and it's just selected by editor. It goes through some process, and then it becomes like admissible and authentic. Otherwise YouTube, because anyone can upload video on YouTube. It's like it's not checked, it's not verified. The content, whatever you can say on YouTube, and you can just put it on YouTube. So you cannot use that as you cannot cite that in your research article or any other thing. It's not as admissible.
Okay, sir. How many years does the copyright stays in effect?
It's normally 20 years. In fact, patent are there. If I'm correct, it's like 20 years. And if anyone can revoke that also in between, if they don't want that, it's okay that it should be free. Otherwise, I guess it's 20 years.
Okay, sir. So if I want to use a graphic from a newspaper for my research article for an academic purpose, can I just do it by citing the source, or I have to take the formal permission?
So most of the newspaper articles, even you will see that copyright symbol. Let me open some news article. Coronavirus news article. So suppose this is Times of India article. If you go down to the bottom, you will see that all copyright reserved, Bennett Coleman, all rights reserved. So you see they have mentioned that they have obtained the copyright of all the things. So even if you are going to use this image, then you should ask permission from these news agencies also. So you cannot use directly these things. Otherwise, but India, in most of the cases, you will see that people use it directly without seeking the permission. But you see, they obtain the copyright. They have the copyright of the things. They mentioned this, that because they have this is the original work of their self. They are not using this. Even if they are copying something from other newspaper, or they are using some other material, they will ask permission from that author also. So it's better to take permission from the newspaper also if you're using their work.
Okay. So generally, the statistics mentioned in the newspaper, we directly quote the statistics sometimes from the newspapers and articles when we are writing our academic journal. Though we, yes.
It's a big blunder according to me, because you cannot because the articles in the newspaper are not reviewed by some experts. Okay, so you cannot quote them directly, and you should avoid that using that, because you see, even you can just find out it yourself. In some newspaper you will find the numbers are different. In some newspaper you will find the numbers will be few different, because it's not reviewed thing. It's not like if you want to use some data, then you should always use it from some government site. Okay,
Yes,
so
I.
because government sites or some scientific world, because in that case only they are they are responsible. They can be held responsible. That you cannot held responsible, that you cannot sue newspaper that you have mentioned this data. So it's very important that you should always use who are like who can be held responsible for that, because if government puts some data on their website, you can just you can file even you can RTI, you can just question their data also. So suppose because in India you will find that most of the data like data.gov.in. So if you want to use some numerical data, you should use this site, because government is providing this data and they can be held responsible if they put some data wrong. Okay, so either you should use data from like government or some authentic agencies, or you should use from data from the scientific world, which are in which the things are reviewed. Okay.
Yes, sir. One more question. Most of the time, we don't find the copyright symbol on the web pages. How do we make sure about the copyright then?
As I said it earlier also, you should avoid using those things, because it's always better for us also that whatever type of licenses we want, we should put it under our content also. So if you want that it should be copyrighted, then put that C symbol. If you want that it should be Creative Commons license, then put that CC symbol. If you want that it should be public domain, then you should that use that public domain. So avoid I think you should avoid those contents in which nothing has been mentioned there, because it might happen they have not put that copyright symbol in that page, but they have obtained that copyright. Okay, so it's better to avoid using that contents in which nothing is there.
Okay, sir. Is there any chance of misuse of Creative Commons content?
uh, what can how can one misuse your content? Like Creative Commons licenses, one can only misuse like they cannot mention your name. If they don't mention your name, then again you can just file some legal case, like you have not mentioned you have not mentioned my name, but you are using my content. But you will have to identify anything can be misused. Even copyrighted things are misused. Most of you will find there are hundreds and thousands of cases, especially in India. It is increasing cases. You will find several cases in University of Delhi also, like like in last few months, that a few of us came under plagiarism and other things. But you should be just because we are all academicians, and we should be aware of these things, and we should make our students aware about these things also. So it's because in India it's like awareness is developing, but in Western world they are very much aware about that. Okay, but you will see that even in our case also, we used our one of the resource person, they used someone's video in their content, and we quickly got a message from the YouTube that you have used this copyrighted thing, and you can be in the legal framework. But they have just they just warned us, and otherwise and they warned that if we repeat this case, the thing, they can file the legal case. So it's very serious in the Western world. And in India, it's the awareness is it's little bit slow, but I think in the coming years it will, all of you will have the awareness about these things. And you in fact we all should know about these things. It's very serious.
Yes, sir, I agree. So one more. Can we use the videos from other universities with the students in our Google Classroom without seeking any permission?
No, as I said, if the content has been created by someone else, you should seek permission. If they have not given that Creative Commons license thing, or they have not put that in public domain. So everything, even in the traditional classroom, people say that in online teaching, because it's or everything is on virtual world, this online space. But even in case of your traditional classroom, you should avoid using copyrighted things, and you should avoid the content of the other people directly. You should always use your content. Even you can use some paraphrasing and other things to make your content. but in every case you should always use your content only. Okay, because in traditional classroom, what will happen if someone say records your voice, some student takes your videos and put it on your YouTube. Otherwise it can be it can be also a case because you are using content of some others content without seeking permission, if it is a copyrighted thing. So we should practice this thing in our daily routine, and we should be aware about these things. Okay, if even in our traditional classroom.
Yes, sir. One question by Ms. Shweta, it's a very specific one, even which you also showed, that she asked about there's a university, Ambedkar University has a website which says right under CC by NC SA 4.0 something. What is this form of licenses? They don't have an image.
They don't have?
They don't have any image, but they mention about this complete CC by NC SA 4.0. What is this form of licenses?
I think I have covered that in much detail. I will have to just put my laptop with charger. Just give me a second. So as I mentioned, I have covered all these type of licenses. Okay, so NC is non-commercial, so anything in that site cannot be used for commercial purpose. First thing, and the second, if it is written ND, that means they cannot use it. They cannot just modify the content. Okay, so whatever is, I think I've covered that in detail. If you have missed that, you can see this video again.
Yes, sir. Yes. Can we take CC for PDF documents?
Yes, you can obtain Creative Commons license for any type of material.
Okay, sir. What does get metadata for documents that support XMP?
Sorry.
So it's a little different. It's what does get metadata for documents that support XMP?
I'm not able to understand this question. XMP.
XMP.
Sorry, I could not understand the question. What exactly?
Okay, then I request the participant to again rewrite this question.
Yes,
Whoever
yes,
wrote
yes.
this, yes. So the other is, if I want to use a graphic from a newspaper research article for an, I guess we covered this question.
Yes.
Is using content from journal article for preparation of class material a violation of copyright?
They should paraphrase it, and as I said, if it is copyrighted, then they should ask the permission. Okay, and even after asking the permission, if they allow it, they can use. They cannot use it directly. They will have to paraphrase it before using that.
Okay, sir. And sir, if we like, how come out of this copyright issues if we indulge into it?
Okay. Okay, it depends on the author. If they ask for some compensation money, then you will have to pay for it. Otherwise you will have to just like a court case is there. So you will have to face that. Okay. Otherwise, if the original author they allow you to just let free, then they can do that. But they have the right that they can ask for some compensation money, or they can fight a legal case against you. So that's why as I am repeating this again, you should always be aware of that whenever you use your content, whenever you use any other's content. So you should be aware about that, and you should make sure that it is not copyrighted. If it is copyrighted, then please write email to that author that you want to use their content. If they reply on the mail that yes, you can use their content, then only you should use that. And just keep these things in your practice. Okay, and most of the authors they allow them, because even I have written mails to several authors, and most of the cases they allow that yes, you can use that. Some cases they don't allow, but in most of the cases they may allow, especially if you are using some image. Like if you are if you are writing a research article and you just want to use image from some other's research paper,
just write an email to that author that we want to replicate, we want to reuse the image in our journal article. Can we do that? If they say yes, then just you can use that. But you should keep these things in your practice. It's very necessary.
Yes, sir. So we generally, when we use the images from the research article, we used to cite the research article. So is it not enough, or
No,
we
no,
just have
it's
to?
not. It's not enough. It's exactly not enough because, but in most of the cases they ignore this thing. Okay, but it's not enough. It's like you can just Google it also. You can make sure that whether I'm saying it correct or not. But even our in our JNU days, we use, most of us we were not aware about that. But if you just Google it and if you search about that, you should always seek permission because the journal obtains a copyright of each and everything of that article. So if you have if someone have published a paper in IEEE, they write it in the bottom that all the things, all the material, all the data, all the images are the copyright of IEEE or Springer or Elsevier. So you will have to write the mail that even they just give the copyright to some form of copyright to the author also. So you will have to just seek permission to use those image, and you should always use that.
Yes, sir. We never pay attention despite during our research time.
Even
Because we
even
generally
we
use it. Yes.
Yeah, even I didn't pay attention to that because we are not aware about this. But
Right, sir.
as time progresses, it should be like in practice, and it's not very difficult. You just have to write an email to the author. That's it.
Yes, sir. Now we'll keep it also in mind. So there's one more question. How do I come to know who copied and did not mention my name if somebody copied my data or content?
Yes, it's like it's not very easy. In case of YouTube, you will find that YouTube sends a message to you. It's a video content. If it's a video content. Otherwise, like if you are writing a research article and they are using your content, then you will see that in Google Scholar that someone have cited your work, and you can go through their work that if they have used your image or not. If they find that they have used the image in your article, so they again have two options. Either they can ignore that, or they can just write to you that you have not taken permission from us. So it depends on the author that what they want to do. But if they have the copyright of that thing, then they can file a legal case on you. Okay. It's very clear. So it's very difficult to find for the other things like for photograph or other things. If you just Google it and you are able to find that someone have used your video, then only it is possible. Otherwise, uh, apart from research articles and videos, for other type of materials, it's a bit difficult to find that.
Yes, sir. There is one more. Can we request for copyright permission after it has been published?
Yes, you can do that. Definitely, you can do that. In India, as I said, the site name is copyright.gov.in. If you have published something, if but publish, that means if you have published some research article from some journal, then the Springer they just get they just send you a copyright form that they just want to obtain the copyright of all the things. So if you have published something, that you must remember that they ask for the copyright, that they will have all the copyright of that material. So if you want to obtain content, if you want to obtain copyright for your content, then you can go to the site as I mentioned earlier, copyright.gov.in. You will have to fill some form, you will have to pay some money, and after that it will take some time, and you can obtain copyright of your material.
Okay, sir. Now, one of our participants is asking if he or she wishes to use our FDP videos, can they use it with their students?
Uh, they will have to seek permission from the, suppose this video is going to the Mata Sundari website, then they will have to ask permission from the Mata Sundari that they want to use the videos of Mata Sundari DP. And if Mata Sundari College, they write email to them that yes, you can use that, then you can use it. There's no problem in that. And if they use it directly without seeking permission of Mata Sundari College, then it's up to Mata Sundari College that what they want to do. Either they can file some case, or they can ask for some compensation money, or they can ignore this.
Surely we're not gonna ignore after this informative session. So there's one more. Please let me know how to find out and download non-copyright images.
I think I have covered
You
this.
covered it, yes.
Yeah, there are
But
several
again, I'll still
websites. So OER Commons, creativecommons.org, Wikipedia, Flickr.com, MIT Coursera, all these sites are there. Gutenberg for books. So these all are Creative Commons licensed or public domain licensed things. You can download it freely and use it freely. You can see there are 63,248 free books. So use these ebooks. Don't go for copyrighted books. So,
yes, sir. If yes, sir. Still, we have time if you wanted to cover something. So,
I think if someone have query, then they can ask. Otherwise, it's just like you should be aware of these things, and even what you should do is even I would recommend that they should also contribute to this OER, because it's very important. And in India, with different background, with different vernacular mediums, we need these kind of things. So even we try to initiate few things about this also OER. So I think we all should contribute something, in some form, to this OER movement. And we should put some contents under public domain, and we should put some contents under Creative Commons license, so that other people can use these contents. Even in our FDP, when we just tried to develop a site, and we asked our participants to contribute to this OER, and we find several interesting things. Some people contributed like some teaching material, video material, and one of the participants, I will share that example, because they contributed 100 question paper, so 100 questions of algorithm. So he said that he has developed that questions by himself. He has not copied that questions from anywhere, and he has developed 100 questions on algorithm, and he just want to put in the OER. So now, because since I am teaching algorithm, I can use that questions directly by just mentioning the name of the creator. So it's a good practice, that sharing the information with some trust. So it's a good practice to contribute to OER, put some content under public domain, put some content under Creative Commons. Try to minimize the content copyright thing. But in India, even we hardly all the teachers, there will be very rare one who will go for this copyright thing. But if you think you have done something peculiar and you have done something unique, then you can go for copyright. That you think that you can earn money from that in the form of royalty or other thing. So in that case, obtain copyright for that unique thing. Otherwise, I think in India, with a large number of students and with a different variety of vernacular mediums, even I can request that some of you, they can just replicate this thing. So suppose there are participants from Tamil or Punjabi medium, what they can do, they can just just make a video of this Creative Commons license thing in Punjabi, in Tamil, and Telugu, and make it OER, so that others can benefit from this. So I think this open educational culture, it needs to be there, and it is much required in the developing nations like India, because many of us are devoid of like basic awareness and basic education. So it's I would request every participant that they should contribute this OER movement.
Yes, sir. So the data, the question about the metadata, she reframed it. What is metadata? Creative Commons also has a section on it. When I researched digital photo archives, many websites mention it.
Okay, let me.
So I guess if metadata is, they are talking about the metadata is generally which we talk about in a database DBMS also. It's a data about data. So if suppose if we, we are using any title, creator, or license information. So when you choose a license on a website, we get back some metadata. That is what I feel like they are trying to mention.
It might be there, but you can see that if you are just creating a website, then this can also be act as a metadata for this also. So like you can just copy this thing and give it to your website manager that put this content. So this is again a way of doing this. I think it's all about this, but I'm not
Yes,
sure.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm also like, because this is what because CC gives the HTML code which we embedded. So that's what the data about the data we are getting back. So that's what the metadata is over.
So if there is any other question. So you can say there are different networks. So CC USA, CC France, CC Japan, CC Turkey. I don't think India. Yeah, India is also there. So you see, this is a kind of movement is there because even UNESCO, UNO, they have mentioned about this OER policy. So if you go about the Open Education Resources UNESCO, so even they are very serious about this UNESCO, that OER is quite necessary to make education more approachable to everyone. So OER movement is there. I think we all should be part of this, and we should contribute as much as we can. Just making a simple Google site, even you can put your contents in Google site and share it with everyone, and share it with some groups, Telegram groups, WhatsApp group, and your college website. So just make a Google site, put your OER content there, obtain the CC license for your content if you want, and just share your content with everyone, and be part of this open source, open educational culture.
Sometimes, yes, sir. Sometimes people they try to ask the permission from one of the participants asked the permission from Dainik Jagran, but they did not care to respond to the mail. So in that context, what we should not use it then?
Actually, yeah, that's the problem in some cases. So even I would strongly recommend that you should avoid using the content of Dainik Jagran. Okay. I think better to use some, as I said, if you want some government data is mostly under public domain, so you don't have to seek permission from the government. Use those data. Better to use if you want some news kind of thing. Better to use PTI and what are the other organizations of government for news? I'm not sure. PTI is there, I think it's under government. So maybe Press Trust of India and uh, so that's also there, and even Lok Sabha TV, Lok Sabha sites. If you want some news kind of thing, then use these sites for social side people. I would recommend this. So Lok Sabha TV, you will find several uh, like news kind of things in these sites, and even you can quote these things because it's under government sites and they can be held responsible for that. They are accountable for this. So better to use these sites instead of Dainik Jagran or Times of India.
Okay, sir. There is one more question. Is LibGen under copyright?
Even you should not mention it in public. because LibGen and Sci-Hub, these all are like pirated things. Okay, so this is like stealing or theft. So if you should not use the name of the site in some public, even I should not be discussing about this also because it's totally illegal. And LibGen and Sci-Hub, these all are like pirated sites which provide journal articles for free. Okay, so better to not to even don't mention these things in public space.
Yes, sir. So there is, give him.
And don't share ebooks which are copyrighted with your students directly. Please don't do that. Please make sure if it's Creative Commons license book, then only you should share. Otherwise, please avoid using that.
So generally we used to share books with like e-books with our students, like whatever the books we are teaching in our class, like taking a class or semester. We generally give, especially is this time of Corona, we because students are unable to buy the book, so we are sending them the e-books. So is this a problem?
Yes, like it's a copyright infringement. It's definitely copyright infringement because they have obtained copyright and the books are in the market and you are sharing the books which there's some cost involved and where there is copyright obtained and you if you are sharing those books directly with your student then again it's a double illegal case. If you don't
But sir, these books are freely available on Google. Like when you write it a book, suppose if I'm telling you about
yes,
this
and they
Frozen
they
book
are
of
they are
Peter
on
Pan.
they are on the pirated sites as I mentioned. It's not on the site. So suppose let me show you an example. Suppose I am teaching this operating system and we use the book of Galvin. Of course, you will find this Galvin book on the net. You see there are different sites. All these sites are pirated book provider site, but this is an authentic site Amazon, and it is there's some cost involved in this. What you can do, you can just go to some site like some university site. Okay, or even you can go to the main author site, Galvin site, or any other site, and if they have mentioned that you can use this book freely, okay, and you can use this material. Even I remember that there are some PowerPoints related to this. Let me yeah, so this is there. So Yale University, they have put some PowerPoint slides related to this book. And what you will have to do, you will have to search that if we can use this or not. You will say this paper copies of slides may be sold strictly at the price of reproduction to students of courses where the book is prescribed text. Any use of differs from the above or any of the profit sales of size form requires the consent of the copyright owners. Contact silver.av.yale.edu. That means you will have to seek permission by writing the email to use this. But they have mentioned that these slides can be used if it is not used. It's for commercial purpose or just for distribution to the students. So it's better to even I have done that because I am teaching operating system this semester. I have not shared the book directly from the pirate site. It's completely illegal. What I have done, I have just shared this link with my students because they have allowed this to do so, and there they can see these PowerPoint slides and use it. So better to be on safer sites and better to write the email to this email ID if you want to use the content ID. So please don't do that. You can see the message there also. Okay, and if you search whatever I'm saying, you can just Google it if I am correct or not. So if you don't agree with me, I will strongly recommend you that please search it on internet whether I am whatever I am speaking is correct or not. Then only uh, follow what you want.
Yes, sir, it's a little surprising also because we literally share the books e-materials. So for me also it's a opening eye. So suppose if we these kind of a book, like suppose operating system you have mentioned, this is a very authentic sites where they've actually mentioned about the copyright thing, and sometimes students do write by themselves and download the PDF for their personal use. So that also come under these things, or is it fine?
Anything from this pirated site, it's illegal. So there are millions of pirated sites. Okay, so it's we should in academic world we should avoid using that. Okay. Anything so as you mentioned, LibGen and SciHub, all these are pirated sites. Pirated site content provider sites. We will say it's every name there. So, but Yale.edu, it's an responsible site. It's accountable. So if Yale infringes any copyright, then anyone can just file a legal case to them. So using these things, it's legal, but it's not a pirated site. Yale.edu, it's a famous one. So better to use this pirated, and it's a culture.
Yes,
like
sir.
yeah. So it's better.
So
to,
one more question.
Yes.
Yeah. Any content older than 20 years will not have a copyright. So can we use them without any worry?
Yes, but you will have to just check it, because it's applicable for the patent also. So you see, someone have obtained the patent for touch screen 20 years back. Now everyone can use that touch screen thing on their devices. So it's a normal rule, but but you will have to just make sure that if they have obtained again the copyright by modifying the content or not. So just Google it, just find it on the net before using it directly. Okay, so just seeing the 20-year published thing, don't use it directly. You can just easily find on the internet whether it is copyrighted, whether it is still copyrighted or not. In most of the cases, they are not copyrighted, but make sure by just searching about that.
Yes, sir. So one more question. They said sometimes we don't find the email address of the author. So in that context, like how to connect with the authors and the people who are the main source of it?
I think most of us, what type of content we will use? We will use either some kind of book content or research paper content, and it's compulsory that they should if you publish any journal article, they just ask for your email address. It's like nowadays it's necessary thing. So in most of the cases, you'll find the email ID. If you don't find the email ID, then you can just write to the publisher name also. So like if it is a Springer article, then you can write to Springer that please provide the email ID of the concerned person, or please allow us to use this type of content. So in most of the cases, you will find the email ID. Even if you cannot find the direct email ID, then you can find the ID of the publisher or any other related person.
Okay, sir. So one more, again, that XMP things which I asked before, it's again prefaced it. They said Creative Commons is recommending XMP as the preferred format for embedded metadata.
XMP.
So XMP is basically here extensible metadata platform, which facilitates embedding metadata in files using a subset of some RDF.
Okay, let me expose it. If I will find, I will share it with the participants.
Yes.
Okay, any other query?
Sir, as of now, no more queries.
Okay, so.
So there is one, sorry to interrupt, there's one more just pop up. How I contribute to OER?
As I said, the simplest way of doing that is just prepare your Google site, put your contents there. The simplest way of doing this is doing like this, and you can ask your institute or university to make a separate section of OER where all the teachers can contribute. Even students can contribute to the OER. So it's better to have a culture at a personal level, as your institutional level, at your university level. It's better to have you should, if government should take the, even government of India have started few initiatives about OER from SWAYAM and other ways, but it's not like that much visible like others are. So if you see MIT, Stanford, Harvard, they have done immense contribution to OER culture. Okay, but in India, as I said, it's not like that much. People are not, the teachers are not aware about that thing. So you can start with your Google site. Just create your Google site, put your OER content there, share that website with your colleagues, with your students. Even you can share it with your, you are the part of this FDP, you can share your OER contribution there also.
Yes, sir. So there is one more last question. Why is open access publishing so expensive? Journals need to be paid if we want to write an open access article.
So there are two type of publishers who ask for money, either predatory or so open access. So open access publishers, they ask for money because they are taking one-time money for that. Otherwise, for their earning, because they are a company, they have to pay salary to their employees. So they have to depend on subscriptions. So you can see that even University of Delhi, I think they pay, I think 1 or 2 crores per year for subscription of journals, different type of journals. JNU pay for it. Most of the universities pay for it for subscription base. So if you want to just go away with this subscription culture, so for money, because they need money for running their servers, computer servers, they need money for paying money to their employees. They will have to just ask money. So either they can ask money from the universities through subscription basis, or if they don't want to do that, they will ask money from the authors to make that open. Like PLOS. PLOS, they ask money, great amount of money to publish an open article.
Yes, sir. So for today, I guess the queries, there's no more queries. If you like to go tell something, it's fine. Otherwise, we can.
I think we can stop here. I think I have covered most of the things.
Yes.
The
Yes,
three
sir.
things like public domain, copyright, Creative Commons licenses, and OER. If you still have query, you can just ask in the group or any other way. But I think you should be all of us should make aware about these things. It's necessary and it's important also. And you can explore these things on your own also, and you can verify whatever I've told today if it is correct or not. You should verify, like sharing a book, like LibGen, like all the things. You can also search for that if it is whatever I've told you, it's correct or not. Like quoting some newspaper article or citing some newspaper article, it's correct or not. You can just search it on your own also. It's very important to get aware about these things. Okay, by your own, you can explore it by your own, or as I said, you can just go through today's session and just verify these things. Okay.
Yes, sir. And before winding up this, we have one or two things also, like people are coming up with. Like we talk about open access general, and they usually ask or money between like 200 USD to 400 USD. Open access general, yes, open access general usually asks money in between 200 USD to 400 USD.
So as I said, the reason behind that, because they have to pay money to the employees. So either they will ask money from the universities and colleges as a subscription, or they will have to ask money from the author. So some journals they depend on subscription, and some journals they depend on asking money from the author. Okay, so to make any journal open, because in that case, if the journal article is open, they will not take money from the subscription. Okay, so in that case, uh, the money they ask from the author. Okay, like for PLOS, as I said, PLOS is a CC license journal, and you will see that they ask a good amount of money for this. And they don't depend on this subscription basis, but they will ask money from the author, and it's freely available. So all the articles are free. But as I said, they have to pay money to their employees. They have to pay money for the server on which this website is running, and for all other processing things, they depend on this money.
Yes, sir. So there is one more. How can we know that the open access journals are not predatory?
It's very easy. Just there are two sites to find out that predatory journals. There's a list of BIAL predatory journals. There was a librarian who prepared the list of all the journals. So this is a site predatorjournals.com, and the original one is BIAL's list. So BIAL's is a librarian who prepared the list of all predatory journals. If you find your publisher name here, please, if you have already published it, retrieve that paper if it is possible for you. And if you are going to publish the article, then you can search the name of the publisher in this list. If you find that name in this list, please avoid that. Okay, so bialslist.net and predatorjournals.com.
Thank you so much, sir. It's really very informative and eye-opener lecture for today. So I'm really thankful for having such informative session with us. So before calling for a vote of thanks, I would like to invite our Chief Coordinator, Dr. Kiranjit Sethi, for making certain important announcement today. Dr. Kiranjit Sethi, over to you.
Yeah. Thanks, Dr. Nidhi. So good evening, participants. Hope this finds you in the best of health and spirits. So as we come close to the finale of this interesting, engaging, and informative FTP, we would like your precious feedback as to how you feel about this whole program. Your constructive and encouraging remarks and suggestions will definitely help us go a long way to bring about positive changes in the program. To know about the views of our participants, a feedback form has been uploaded on the portal ms.rcmoocs.in. Kindly fill it as soon as possible. It will be highly appreciated. Another thing, after so many days of learning, it's time now to assess the knowledge acquired. There will be a test for all the participants tomorrow, 29 September 2020, after the live session. The uploaded test will start at 6 p.m. on 29th of September 2020, and the submission deadline of the test will be 30th September 2020 till 12 noon. Now, another important announcement. Valedictory function will be held on 30th September 2020 from 2 p.m. to roughly say 5 p.m. It will be from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. just like we had our inaugural session. We will have an informative live session from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. and after that the valedictory program will start. I'm sure you have all noted this down. Thank you so much. Thank you, all of you. And now I will invite Priyanka to propose a formal vote of thanks. Priyanka.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Mata Sundari College for Women, an entire organizing team of this FTP, I feel immense pleasure to take this opportunity to propose a vote of thanks to our eminent speaker, Dr. Nikhil Rajput, for giving excellent coverage on open educational resources and Creative Commons licenses. Sir, we are really enlightened with your knowledge and presence. With this, I would like to thank the torch bearers of this program, our principal ma'am, Professor Harpreet Kaul, Principal of Ramanujan College, Professor S.P. Agrawal, and Dr. Kiranjeet Sethi, Chief Coordinator of this FTP, for leading and inspiring us in organizing this faculty development program. Also, conducting this session would have been impossible without the zealous efforts of my team of Mata Sundari College for Women, Ms. Nidhi, Ms. Megha Gupta, Ms. Ashima Hasti, Ms. Vijaya Goyal, and Ms. Sangeeta Pathak, and the team of Teaching Learning Center Ramanujan College. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to them. Last but not the least, I would like to thank the participant for their active participation. Look forward to see you all in the tomorrow session at 3 p.m. Thank you all once again. Stay safe and have a great evening ahead. Thank you so much.